Hi everybody, it's Carla. I'm gonna do something I rarely do on my channel, but love to do. I'm gonna actually make, I'm gonna cook. Oops. And I'm making what's called Cholent. It's a Jewish type stew that I made once before, and it's just so delicious. And I thought I'd kind of document myself making it. I'm always fascinated with cultural food, and this is a stew that's made in all different regions of the world, so they all have kind of slightly different takes on it. I'm just scraping some carrots here. But I love watching cooking videos, and I love all kinds of dishes that are kind of like comfort food. And it's my understanding that this stew could be considered a type of Jewish comfort food. And I'll just scrape my carrots and stick them in here for now. So I've made it once before, and I'm not Jewish, and I don't really even recollect having Jewish friends that would prepare this, but I hope I do it some justice. I just love watching the Jewish cooking channels where they get in the kitchen and make this stew. So I'm really just gonna put it together by memory of what they put in it. And like I said, I have done it before. It's been a while ago though. But it appears to just be a good combination of root vegetables and beans, and some of them are vegetarian. The one I'm doing is the one that I see most on videos, which is the beef one. So they're real rich with meat and vegetables and beans and just all the kind of stick to your ribs good food. I think I'll just do the 4 carrots for now. So I'm going to put in carrots, and I'm going to put in potatoes, but I'm going to use these mixed, can you see these fingerling potatoes? I'm just going to give these a rinse. So I'm sorry I keep walking away from the camera. I'm going to wash these off real quick. Like so. Okay, and then it's my understanding that you literally just layer all of the ingredients into your pot or slow cooker. I wish I had a slow cooker, but I don't. And the thing that the Jewish families tend to do is they cook it on for lunch for their Shabbat, and they do it the night before so that they're not cooking on the Sabbath. And so you load everything in. I'm just thinking out loud here. I think, because I'm trying to do this from memory, I'm going to put some oil in the bottom of the pan first. I think I'll just use some olive oil. And you just layer all your vegetables. So I'm going to cut an onion. So we're at the time of year where it's starting to warm up here, but we have had some really chilly mornings. This morning it was about, I don't know, 30, 35 degrees. Pretty cold. But it didn't stay cold all day. I'm gonna rinse that off. Throw that away and chop up my onion. And this is a very slow cooking stew. And because of that, I don't have to chop everything really fine, because it is going to dissolve as it cooks or cook down. And I know that a lot of people put their vegetables in almost whole. So I don't know if you can tell, but I decided there are several recipes where they don't braise the meat, but if you can look down in my pot, it's got all that golden brown. I decided to go ahead and braise my beef. And so this is just beef stew meat and the braised onions. But you know what, I'm gonna put, before I start layering, I'm gonna put potatoes. You know what? I think when I watched them, they actually put beans at the bottom. So let's do that. My bean mixture is garbanzo beans, small navy beans, and adzuki beans, which are these tiny little red ones. So I'm going to layer some of the beans. And I don't guess it really matters how you layer everything. So I'll go ahead and put some of the onions and beef. They say to use a cheap cut of meat because it's going to cook a long time. I've just been so excited to make this recipe. And I guess I'm just going to layer it the way I want to layer it. You guys, these are the sweet potatoes that I grew in my garden. And I still have some left. And I thought it would be yummy to have the mix of sweet and white potatoes. I'm going to keep them in pretty large chunks because I have a feeling they're going to cook down quite a bit. See if you can see this a little better. Look at inside of the purple little fingerlings. Isn't that pretty? So I'll put some of these in. It's a mixture of the little golden ones and the little red skin ones. And then I'll put in some carrots. And then I have seasoning, and I'm gonna stick to the traditional seasonings, which aren't that fancy. It's just salt, pepper, and I have smoked paprika. It's not very spicy. I think this is more of a sweet one. And then I'm going to, what else? Let's see. I guess it also says to put in marrow bones. I'll stick in one of the marrow bones. Oh, the garlic. As far as the garlic, I'm just gonna slice it because again, this is just gonna melt into the stew because it's gonna cook so long. And I think I've got about 6 little cloves of garlic here. And like I was saying, I don't have a slow cooker. I think that would have been nice, but maybe this will give me the sense of cooking it more the traditional primitive way. So I've got 5 or 6 cloves of garlic, and I think I'll just start again. More beans. We'll just put the rest of the beans. I think it measured out, I soaked these beans overnight, and I think it measured out to be about 2.5 cups of beans all together. And then I also have some barley, and I lightly cooked the barley. It suggested cooking it so it doesn't absorb too much water. And I'm gonna use a couple more of the thin-skinned golden potatoes, just because I think there's gonna be people that'll want more potatoes. So we'll go ahead and put those in. Let's just put it all in. I don't know why I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I guess not. Put in the rest of the meat and the onions. And then I'm going to lay on top this piece of shank. It's a beef shank. I don't know, maybe I should cover that a little bit more. I honestly don't know if it matters or not, so I'll just leave it like that. Put the rest of my seasonings on, which will be the paprika, and this is about a tablespoon of paprika. This is about a tablespoon of black pepper. Oh, I know, I have my beef stock too. We'll put the rest of the salt. I know that looks like a lot, but it's gonna cook up to be a lot. Rinse my hands off here. So I'm touching meat. Okay, and so I've got that all in. I'll put the rest of the barley on top of that. One more marrow bone. And then I've got a quart or four, how much is this? About 4 cups, I think, of beef stock. I'm gonna pour that on top. And I'm pouring it so that I can rinse the seasonings so they're not just all stuck in one spot. And then you're supposed to add enough water just to lightly cover it. So it doesn't look very appetizing right now, but apparently it's going to have the whole house smelling great. Oh, I forgot one more ingredient. So it's sort of a little bit savory and sweet. Not really sweet, but you can either use dates to sweeten it or honey. And I've got a really good organic honey somewhere. Did I put my honey? Did I put it away? Hold on one second. Here it is. So I've got a good raw honey right here. You can see that. And I'm just gonna give it a squeeze on top. And then I'm gonna pour water until it just about covers it. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on the stove, bring it to a rapid boil, and let it boil for about an hour or two at like a medium boil. And then you just let it simmer. And I think for me, the key is just gonna be to keep it from sticking. But I'm super excited. So I'll come back and show you the progress that I make on it. Let me find my lid. I'll probably put it on the stove and cover it until it starts boiling and then give it a little air to escape. Okay, so I'm gonna also try making my own homemade kishka, which is sort of like a sausage of sorts, but this one's gonna be vegetarian. They have a meat one that they add into the Cholent, but I'm gonna do just a small batch, and I'm kind of winging it here, but I figure I'm gonna be brave and try to make Cholent, knowing nothing about Jewish food. So I might as well be brave and try to make my own kishka roll to go in it. So I've got just the basic ingredients, carrots, celery, onion, and I'm just gonna put that in my little blender here. And I'm gonna give it a little head start chopping. So excuse the noise for a minute. Let's see. I better get the lid first. Where's my lid? Okay. this going. Okay, so I've got that ground up a little bit, if you can see it in there. And I'm kind of proud of myself about this. I rendered my own chicken fat. So I've got some rendered chicken fat. This one I haven't seen people add, but just sort of made me think of cornbread dressing or something. So I have a little poultry seasoning, a little black pepper, a pinch of sugar, and garlic powder. I'm gonna dump that all in. I do need salt. Just grab my pink salt here. Not a lot, because I'm also going to add a little bit of chicken stock. When I say chicken stock, same as beef stock, I'm just using this Better Than Bouillon. It's like a paste. And then I'm going to add about a cup of the matzo meal. I'm gonna hope that's enough. Let's see. I'm gonna measure out a cup. I'm gonna pour in my stock and give it another whirl. And the goal is to have a paste consistency, because it will thicken up as it cooks in the stew. I'm struggling a little bit here, hold on. It's pretty thick now. I'm hoping I'm not overdoing it here. I think I better call it quits. Let's see how it is. So move that out of the way. Let's see. Just set that there. And get some parchment paper. Go ahead and scoop it out. Oh, it's nice, pretty nice consistency. It's very much like a paste. Kind of an ecru color. I think I'll make this into two logs. And again, bear with me, because I'm just doing this as a brave experiment. I'm just gonna roll it up. It's almost like a tamale, I think. So I've got one there, we'll do another one. See how much we can get out for this one. Get that off my fingers. Sort of a messy cook here. Well, there's a lot trapped down in there, but I need a smaller spatula to get it out. Do the best I can. Gotta get one more dollop out of here. It's getting trapped on the blade, so I guess this will be the last scoop I'll be able to get out. Okay. Rinse that out. So again, this is just the matzo meal, celery, carrot, onion, chicken fat, garlic powder, salt, pepper. Oh, I forgot the paprika. Oh well. I think that's a pretty staple ingredient. It's too bad I forgot it. But there's always next time. So there's that one, and apparently you just lay them on top of the cholent, and they will steam and cook just like that. But I'm not going to do that until my cholent's been cooking for a while. They also suggest adding whole raw eggs that will steam and roast along with the cholent. I'm not so sure how I feel about the eggs, so I'm not sure if I'll do that, but I'll be back to let you know as we progress. Okay, everyone, back to the cholent. It has been cooking a good, 3 hours now. And I added a couple tablespoons, maybe 3, of tomato paste. And I'm gonna go ahead and put in one of the little bundles of kishka. And I was debating about whether I was gonna do eggs, and I went ahead and decided, because I wanna do it as authentic as possible, I'll just add a couple of eggs. I don't know, the egg thing just seemed a little odd to me, but because they do put eggs in it, I thought we've got to have it so that we can at least try a couple eggs in there. So it's still just at a simmer, and so I'm going to keep it that way until I go to bed, which is, well, it's probably go to bed at about 11, so another hour or so. I just thought I'd keep you up to date on the progression of how it's cooking. So I thought I'd give you guys a quick peek at the cholent. It's cooking away here and looking wonderful. It's gonna just stay at a nice simmer like this now for, I don't know, another 3 hours. And before I go to bed, I'm gonna put it in the oven at about 300 degrees, maybe a little lower, and let it just cook all night, and just get nice and yummy. But I just thought I'd give you a quick peek so you could see it cooking. Just gonna leave the lid kind of half on like that and let it keep cooking. We'll check back in. So this is it, everyone. It's the fully cooked cholent. And I took it, it was in the oven all night. I think, yeah, I turned the temperature down. I was a little concerned that it was up too high, and then I went and did a little more research and discovered that it would be good to just keep it slowly cooking at 200 degrees. And that's what I did. And this is how it looks. And it's supposedly nice and unctuous and flavorful. And I'm gonna say it cooked about 14 hours in total. And I did go ahead and put the kishka in, the homemade one that I made. And it looks like it might have opened up some from the parchment paper. That's okay. I did purchase a store-bought kishka. Let me go grab that and I'll show it to you. I just threw these in the freezer, but I bought these at a kosher store. Oh, my dishwasher's on. 1 second. Okay. And so these you can put in. I'm actually just practicing this because we're going to have an international dinner. And so when I make the cholent again, I'll use these. But for the practice one, I just wanted to try it by making it myself. Let's unwrap this a little bit. Some of the carrots and meat got in there. Yeah, it's pretty loose and mushy. It's probably going to taste pretty good though. But let's move that out of the way. And let's spoon out some of the cholent. Let's see how it is, okay? So I'll just turn this way. Hopefully you can see. And there's one of the eggs. Oh, I think a piece of the parchment's in there. We don't want that. All right. So this is a real heavy-duty pot that I cooked it in, by the way. It's a KitchenAid. That's the bone from the shank that I put in there. And these are all the potatoes. And I guess it isn't a very beautiful dish, but I guess if you're thinking flavor, look at that. You can see the barley and all the beans and the fingerling potatoes. I see the carrots and chunks of the meat. It looks definitely like all of the cholents I've been seeing. And then we're gonna taste it and see if it tastes really, really good. I won't dish out too much. And now I'll just put a little in my bowl. Get some of everything in there. A little bit of the meat and barley. And I will scoop out a little bit of my homemade kishka, which is this part. Can you see that? Okay. Here's my little taste test of kishka and cholent. Let's try it. Oh my. That's delicious. That's a mouthful of all different kinds of flavors. And you can taste a little bit of the sweet. Oh boy. That's worth the effort because putting it together really isn't that much trouble. It's just waiting for it to get done. And I bet this is like most stews. It's only better after it, you know, has a few hours for all the flavors to come together. So like the next day for leftovers, we're gonna have plenty. Oh, and I'll show you. I also made a cucumber salad with just some vinaigrette, you know, to kind of cut the fattiness of the meal. So this is what's for dinner tonight. Super excited to do a cultural type meal. But I'm gonna eat the rest of this right now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me make this, what I might call ancient Jewish stew. And I hope you'll try it yourself and let me know if you do. See you next time.